It's been a banner week for the former president of the United States. By that, I mean, of course, one Donald J. Trump. He'll remind you in every press release he puts out. Former 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. It's like a guy who's 45 years old showing you a high school soccer trophy. But I digress. What a week for Mr. Trump. First, he, of course, went after the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, and called him treasonous, actually encouraging his execution for reaching out to the Chinese government while Trump's attempted coup was going on to assure them that, no, we weren't going to launch nukes.
Trump saying that former Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman General Mark Milley should be executed.
Yeah, he did that. He also had a great day in his civil trial for his bank fraud case. It's hard to keep these all in mind, guys. Lots of indictments and 91 charges where he went out and he bitched to the reporters that there wasn't a jury trial. How dare he only be tried by a judge?
As you know, we're not entitled to a jury, which is pretty unusual in the United States of America. So we think it's very unfair that I don't have a jury.
The thing is, when you've gotten to the level of lawyer, you've gotten to the sort of Lionel Hutz.
There's the truth and the truth.
They're not your best people. They didn't ask for a jury trial because they didn't know to do that. Because I guess they didn't teach that in the 8th grade, which is as high as most of his lawyers made it. But yeah, that wasn't Trump's best moment either. And now his former lawyer, again, in quotes, John Eastman, has appealed to the Supreme Court because a California judge found that they were, quote, more than likely, Eastman and Donald Trump, committing criminal activity when they tried to overthrow our election. And even this Supreme Court rejected the case. Great week for Mr. Trump. But this has to be the best of all. John Kelly, you may know, big military figure, was head of Homeland Security under Trump. He made him his chief of staff. Of course, once Kelly left the White House, there was a falling out, as there always is with Donald Trump, when he ends up bringing in the types of chiefs of staff eventually that are like the types of lawyers he brings in.
Trump.
No other president has had so many former top aides making such harsh public assessments.
So whatever you think of Kelly, was a military guy and still actually had competence. Finally, and he should have done this sooner, he came forward to confirm a lot of stories we've heard that should disturb every human and certainly every American who somehow has had a metal rod shot through their cerebral cortex and are actually thinking about voting for this lummox for president again.
Kelly describes Trump as, quote, a person that thinks those who defend their country in uniform or are shot down or seriously wounded in combat or spend years being tortured as POWs are all, quote, suckers because, quote, there is nothing in it for them. A person that did not want to be seen in the presence of military amputees because, quote, it doesn't look good for me. A person that demonstrated open contempt for a Gold Star family, for all Gold Star families on TV during the 2016 campaign. And rants that our most precious heroes who gave their lives in America's defense are, quote, losers and wouldn't visit their graves in France. Kelly confirming on the record a story reported in the book The Divider, where Trump tells Kelly he wants a military parade, like one he saw for Bastille Day in France, except he does not want any wounded veterans. Kelly confirming that Trump in 2018 in France refused to visit graves of Americans killed in World War I. To CNN, Kelly calls Trump a hypocrite, saying he is, quote, not truthful regarding his position on the protection of unborn life.
Kelly and I can have an argument over that.
On women, on minorities, on evangelical Christians, on Jews, on working men and women.
Yeah, Trump loves the working men and women, you can tell.
And he concludes Trump is, quote, a person that has nothing but contempt for our democratic institutions, our Constitution, and the rule of law. He concludes, there is nothing more that can be said. God help us.
I think seemingly the only parts he forgot to mention were where Trump walked up on Air Force One with toilet paper hanging from his shoe and stared directly into an eclipse. Obviously, there are many more moments of Trump's stupidity, but his hatred for those who serve our country, his hatred for those that believe differently than him, love differently than him, look differently than him, is all in here. The fact that he sees people that were injured defending our country as losers. And this is Donald Trump. We've gotten the same picture of this man from everyone, okay? Yet right now, there's a group of people, MAGAs, that are on a hunger strike until Donald Trump's cleared of wrongdoing. And somebody actually drew a picture of Donald Trump sitting next to Jesus in court the other day. Yeah, I wish that were a joke too. Nothing will shake these people of their obsession, of their fear of waking up every morning and needing a strong man to tell them what to do. But it doesn't change the fact that it was a horrible week for Donald Trump, both in court. His stooge McCarthy even turned on him and agreed to not shut the government down, as Donald Trump wanted so badly, and in the end came to an agreement with Democrats. So he lost in Congress, he lost in the courts, he lost in the stupid things he said, he lost in what John Kelly confirmed. He's a loser.